This Hall of Fame game picks edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is giving away $15 million in Best Ball Mania 5. Sign up with SGPN to claim your first time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm has the best AI picks and projections, and their college football product is about to drop. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm.
Hey everybody, Jim McMahon here, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Long, Cox.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, second the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kram?
Football. Football's here. Football's back.
Football
no more talking about
here.
football. Football's back.
Da-da-da. I know it's taken away from your horses, Ryan, but
What do you mean?
the NFL, the National Football League, it's here. Great, better than ever. The official kickoff. Only a mere 50 hours. If you're watching live, youtube.com/sportsgambling. 50 hours, they'll kick off. Let's go, baby. Oh man.
Hey Sean, real quick.
Yes.
Sorry, PL folks. Football season. We're done with that. All right.
Adios, lacrosse. We will still give out some PL picks, but Ryan, our hearts, our souls are locked in on the National Football League.
Yes. It's preseason, which is important. We got to make sure we remind people about the preseason betting streets.
Yep.
What's the first thing what's the first lesson in preseason betting 101 at DGen University?
Ryan.
Yes.
I mean, I played the sharp sound effect because I'm sure all the listeners hammered the under in the Hall of Fame game, opening up as high as 33 and a half some places.
Yeah. Assuming that if you're listening to this show right now, you have a 33 in your pocket.
Yeah.
You're probably just 31 and got it before it moved through the key number of 32, Sean, which not satire. 32 is a key number
in preseason football.
In football in general, it's just so low. We don't often talk about this key number.
Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to see what I'm going to pull up what our buddies over at Circa have.
Oh, look at
32. 32. So a lot of places hanging 31 and a halves. If you're in Nevada or have access to Circa Mobile, check them out. 32 is their total. Remember, we even saw some early line movement. Bears were favored by 1.5, and then news broke that they would not be playing their starters, which is
first time doing preseason, guys.
Well, I mean, the fact that moved the number is crazy. Like,
do you think it actually moved the number? Well, yeah, they must have. They took a big bet, I bet.
Yeah, now it's Now the Bears are the dog. Bears are +1.5 over on Circa.
Well, and Matt Eberflus started his career hot 3-0 in his first preseason, but then 1-2 last year. So unclear if it matters based on his. So basically, if you look at both of these teams,
yes,
it seems like I would bet money on the Texans carrying less. D'Amico Ryans did go 2-1 last year, but was not super interested in playing starters early at all.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see many starters. So, and when handicapping preseason, honestly, the thing you should look at is, and Walter Football has a good list. Just Google preseason coaching records. Like that really, to me, is the number one thing I'm looking at, because to your point, Ryan, some coaches really care about winning the preseason. Shout out to Harbaugh, who was 1-2. The sports books must have got to him, because that was the gift that kept on giving. I mean, from 2016 to 2022, the Ravens did not lose a preseason game. Unreal. They were 23-0, and then last year, finally, all the squares, the mooks or moops, whatever CJ calls loser betters, finally caught up to the trend and they started betting. And I think the league must have sent a memo to the Ravens being like, all right, guys, we get it. You're awesome at preseason. Can you lose a couple games? We're getting killed over here. And they did. They were 1-2. Kind of crazy there. But yeah, to your point, small sample size with D'Amico Ryans, 2-1. But maybe look towards Kyle Shanahan, who hasn't been. He's sitting right there at 500.
And yeah, if you are a Patreon, that the data Sean's talking about is already in the NFL picks.
Oh hell yeah, let's go.
Sheet. Yes, and if you're nice to me, I'll add it in there by week as well.
Well, and of course, if you are a Patreon, hopefully you got the NFL preview sheets that Kramer. All the data we're using for our NFL team previews come right from those sheets. And of course, yes, 32 NFL team previews. We're doing a special contest. The phrase that pays each one of the team preview episodes, we will reveal a word. Those 32 words form a 2-sentence phrase. Submit that phrase at the end of the team previews. One lucky winner, $500 NFL future over at Circa. So, Kramer, it's football time, man.
It is. It is. And so, yeah, after you get past the betting the under and handicapping the coach and how much he cares about the preseason, it becomes let's look at these quarterback depth charts for me at least.
Okay. Yeah. That's probably next. This is interesting because you look at the depth chart and the Texans haven't officially announced they're not playing starters. They're not playing their starters.
No, they don't. Yeah. Honestly, like D'Amico Ryans was vocal about this last year and he followed through on his word and he had more reason to play guys last year.
Yeah.
So I would say based on what we learned of last year, they're going to compete. I do think that one worry with the D'Amico Ryans coach team is that he coaches competing and
they have no off switch.
You see it in the practice. You see it like they're probably leading in fights right now. You see, or scraps. I know
coaches their training camps have been a little chippy.
Coaches don't like to call them fights anymore. They call them scraps. And I just think
you don't see Caleb Williams getting involved in a couple scraps.
But it's like, do you like the Houston Texans roster's depth more than the Bears? Hard to really go that deep and compare. But I would say that I would handicap it like I expect a little bit more fight out of the further down the depth chart on the Texans.
Well, so looking at the Texans quarterbacks, Davis Mills, second string, dude with that long neck. Case Keenum, former, you might remember him from the 2017 NFC Conference Championship game, and then Tim Boyle, which this is a pretty good roster for Hall of Fame game preseason backup quarterbacks because all these guys have seen some action, have won some games, which yes, I know they all suck, but I mean,
what's the handicap?
Some of these years it gets pretty bad.
Because normally I would say, well, be careful because Case Keenum is the exact kind of guy you got to beware in the preseason because they can go out and actually run an offense. Veterans, like maybe not even too worried about their position on the team. I would imagine he's almost locked in. Like, wouldn't he be the backup? Aren't you almost certainly assuming he's going to be the guy that wins the job at the end of the year?
I don't know. That's interesting because I think they are high on Davis Mills as their second quarterback.
Yeah, I just think in that kind of system, those coaches, and I'm kind of just projecting Shanahan. They always seem to err for the boring guy over the guy with higher upside, and so I guess in this case, that to me is Case Keenum. Case Keenum is like a perfect backup quarterback. He can do like 2 to 3 weeks and you'll have some fight. He's fiery. To me, Davis Mills is like the prospect that you want to take a step forward. But like if he had to come in the middle of the game, I'm like, fuck, Davis Mills is in the game. So yeah,
who filled in for? I think Case Keenum was the starter, right? When CJ Stroud missed that game. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure.
I believe so. I mean, I just think in general
he had 53 pass attempts. Davis Mills had 39. Maybe they both played in that game because I know CJ Stroud missed at least one game.
Let me see here. I'll pull it up. But yeah, I mean, just in general, that's kind of part of the handicap. And so when you hear the fourth name on the list, Tim Boyle, you have to kind of to me, I'm penciling in.
Yeah, you're right. He did get the 2 starts when when CJ Stroud was out. So I guess he would be the second. I don't know why they have Davis Mills ahead of him. Maybe they are looking to make a change there. Either way, I think they'll both get the majority of the snaps. It'll be interesting to see the split between
who
Mills
has
and
them
Keenum.
second. You looking?
I'm looking at the ESPN depth chart.
Oh, well, we got to go to our lads.
Okay.
I mean, if we learned one thing from talking to that dude, I'm blanking on his name right now.
Oh, he's awesome at updating.
But he has one purpose in life.
Yeah, he also has Davis Mills second.
Interesting.
So. Now, to your point, I mean, whether that actually impacts how long we're going to see him out there, who knows? I mean, the Davis Mills, Keenum, I would have Keenum higher in a preseason game like this. The other side, though,
but is he gonna like? I guess from that perspective, I was actually going down the path of saying maybe Case Keenum doesn't play as much because they know what they have. They trust him.
They don't need. You're right. Keenum probably would be good if he's out there, but I don't know if they need a ton of Case Keenum.
Whenever Keenum's going to get his half in the preseason, that's the game we definitely bet on the Texans for.
Now, what about the Bears? Because
okay, so this is interesting. Yeah, Davis Mills actually only got in the game when Case Keenum got banged up.
That's right. I forgot about that.
So last year, if you look at last year, they definitely picked Case Keenum over Davis. But it's more to say, are we going to see mostly Davis Mills and Case Keenum, or Davis Mills and Tim Boyle?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of Davis Mills, Tim Boyle, because to your point.
Oh, then I hate the chances for this Texas.
No,
thing.
Why should Case Keenum? Why would they play? I mean, I don't know.
Have they announced the starter? I didn't see anything. It is early in the week for preseason.
No, because Bears officially announced they're not playing their starters, but the Texans have not officially made that announcement.
And so then, like, all right, so let's say the starter is either Davis Mills or Tim Boyle on the other side. And knowing the star-studded receiving core for the Texans, doubt they play. You know, you don't want to put coming back from injury Tank Dell, Nico Collins, or Steph Diggs out there. So, all right. So then on the other side, we know Caleb Williams isn't going to play.
Real quick,
we assume he's the starter, right?
Case Keenum missed yesterday. He was sitting out yesterday. So
perfect.
I don't know if it's injury or whatever. No, I'm just saying if he's already sitting out or a little banged up, why play?
Doesn't change our handicap. So then on the other side, if Caleb Williams is the presumed starter,
yes,
then it means we're going to get a metric fuck ton of Tyson special Bagent 17. Love that we can talk about him again. And who?
Well, and then behind him is Brett Rippin. Sorry.
Remember Mark?
Yes. His dad.
People are going to kill
dad,
you.
Mark.
People are going to kill you.
No, I know.
It's a
Brett
Hall of Fame
Rippin.
game. It's cool.
I'm shaking off the rust. Austin Reed, who coming in from college, Western Kentucky, the Hilltoppers. I don't know how much he'll get run. It'll be, but again, like if you're trying to figure out what you have in Austin Reed, this is the game you play him. You could say the same thing for Brett Rippin, Tyson Bagent. If I had to guess, Tyson Bagent plays the first quarter at least, maybe a couple other drives. Then Brett Rippin plays the third. So maybe Tyson Bagent plays the first half, Brett Rippin third quarter, Austin Reed fourth quarter. Some sort of split like that.
I mean, the concern is that we don't get to see our boy Bagent.
Really? They announced Bagent is starting, so he's definitely playing.
But how long are we going to get him?
That is the question.
It's concerning to me as someone who wants to back. Yeah, I mean, I would say so. All right, so let's just blend all three. So what's which quarterback room do you like better? Tim Boyle, Davis Mills, or a little bit of Bagent with Rippin and a guy named
we
Reed.
have Tyson Bagent gave a press conference, which I think will impact.
Let's see it.
My decision. This is an amazing video from Bears training camp. The visual is pretty strong. The audio awesome as well.
You got the video, Josh? Oh, there we go. Oh.
Special Bagent 17 t-shirts are still available in the merch store.
Much about it. I was too busy grinding my absolute face off in the off season. But whatever they were going to do, that's completely up to them. I can't control that. But I was just excited to come back. Whoever was going to be in the QB room was going to be in the QB room. Nothing was going to change on my end though. But yeah, like you said, it feels good to know that they have some, that they have confidence in me and that they like what I was able to do last year, and hopefully they're being able to see the strides that I've made in the off season and going into year 2.
What was the hardest grinding your face off thing that you did?
June 19th, shout out to my one of my best friends, Derek Gallagher, 1 mile burpee broad jump. Hour and 7 minutes. Let's go.
Is that burpees for a mile?
Burpee broad jump. Burpee broad jump. 1 mile.
How many calories do you burn out?
I don't know. I ate a lot after that. It was nice.
What would you eat afterwards? What did you go after that?
I went to Betty's. Shout out to Shepherdstown, West Virginia. Went to Betty's restaurant.
Shout outs.
I think I just got 6 eggs and bacon with some toast. I might not be getting better necessarily at football when I'm doing a workout like that. However, just the mental edge that it gives me, finding out, what I can endure versus what the next man can endure, in a sense, gives me a little mental edge when I show up to things like this and people start complaining about our schedule. I can kind of have somewhere in the back of my head that I've done things far worse than this. That I can handle really kind of anything that's thrown at me and be able to just keep the main thing, let it flow off the shoulders and just kind of, react to what happens next. So.
How are you not all in on Tyson Bagent there, Ryan?
I am. I mean, what is he? D2 guy to like Shepherdsville or Shepherd something, West Virginia. He's the white Bears hat he was wearing, pretty fire. And honestly, my biggest takeaway there. Sounds like he's got some whiny bitch teammates that he was throwing under the bus when they're complaining.
Oh, these
about
other
the
guys
schedule.
complaining about the schedule, not me. Fucking grinding.
So, yeah, I don't know. This is a tough preseason handicap, but I have to imagine that whatever we get out of Tyson Bagent and the quote unquote first team offense is going to look. Are we going to see Roma Dunze?
I don't think so.
Is he considered a starter?
I think so. Right.
Okay.
I mean, who would you say is their starter?
DJ Moore and Keenan Allen.
Yeah. Well, usually offenses consider Cole Kmet. I don't think is playing, and we'll get to it. We'll talk a little DFS. I do think.
So we haven't figured it out. So we just take the dog.
Take the dog. Yeah, I'm. If you can get the Bears plus 1.5, I think that's what I'm going to do. To your point, gun to my head, if I had to choose which team cares less about it, I think it's the Texans.
Really?
Yeah. I think the quarterback play, I mean, Tyson Bagent clearly has a chip on his shoulder. The combination of Mills and Tim Boyle versus versus the guys in the Brett Rippon. And of course Bagent. Yeah, it is. But I'd like Chicago, especially if you're getting that 1.5. I'm not laying 1.5. I'm not laying 1.5 by Houston. That to me is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, just other notes from the roster. I don't hate. I think I have to take the Bears, even if it's not a take the dog situation. Will we see Mercedes Lewis?
What do you mean? They are the dog.
No, I know. I'm joking. I'm saying like I think I would take the Bears either way. They got a guy named Doug Kramer Jr. on the team, but also Mercedes Lewis, who is as old as us.
Yes,
still playing.
40 years old.
Will he get some time?
No, and that's one of my nuggets, Ryan. We're gonna give out a DFS lineup, but I do think now. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think some of these deep guys in the tight end position, because you look at Cole Kmet not playing, he's a starter. Gerald Everett, a guy who has had injury issues, veteran from the Chargers. I would be surprised if he gets any run. Mercedes Lewis, 40 years old. There's no way he's doing anything. But look at Steven Carlson. He's like a career guy who's floated around. Maybe it's Tommy Sweeney. Maybe it's Brendan Bates. I think one of those guys is a guy we have to get into our lineup. I was doing a little digging. Steven Carlson did catch a deep ball from Caleb Williams in training camp. To me, that is a signal that at least he's close to running with the ones. But I'm open. I'm open to hearing your suggestions. Let's take a quick break talking about Underdog Fantasy. Use that promo code SGPN. I'm sure they'll put up some contests, maybe a little pick 'em, some drafts for the Hall of Fame game. Of course, why not fire up a Best Ball Mania draft while you're watching the Hall of Fame game? Get a chance to win your share, $15 million in prizes. Of course, Underdog fantasy.com, promo code SGPN. Get that sweet deposit match and special pick 'em offer. We're also brought to you by Odds Jam. If you're betting preseason football, you're probably betting a lot, and that's why you got to get the best numbers. Odds Jam helps you helps you get that done. You fill out all the different places you have accounts. They give you the best prices for your favorite bets. Even arbitrage tool, finding spots where you can bet both sides, guaranteeing yourself a profit. They even cover sportsbooks like Bet Online, Bovada. They also have this new fantasy tool, the Fantasy Pick'em. If you're looking to get down on some underdog plays, they got you covered with that. Odds Jam, you get a 7-day free trial and 35% off your first month when you use oddsjam.com, promo code SGPN. And of course, Circa Survivor, Circa Million, $16 million up for grabs. We're going to be out there August 22nd through the 24th. Come say hi, sign up for the contest. We got a proxy, footballcontestproxy.com, promo code SGP, and get 15% off your hotel stay August 22nd through the 24th. Promo code SGP15. Last but not least, Rhythm. Download Rhythm. Get you covered. AI projections, picks, and props. College football product dropping any day now. Crushing it in golf as well. Sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Kramer.
Yes.
Well, the audience knows me well because Swagger Hound in the chat saying, Sean, I know you want Ben Skoranek in that DFS lineup. I mean,
yes, sir.
You know I'm firing on some Ben Skoranek, all over him. He's like the 4th or 5th receiver for the Texans. Those are the kind of guys. I know in your head instantly you want to say, "Oh, I'll play the backup," but even the twos, especially early, might not get the run. The guys, especially in the Hall of Fame game, that are going to get the run, or it's a sweet science trying to find that guy that is on the roster bubble that they're going to want to see a lot of play volume for, to give him a chance. It is weird. Who was it? Was it Josh Jacobs? They gave a ton of carries that one year. That was a real red herring.
That was just peak McDaniels.
Yeah.
Just like, what are
everyone
you
goes,
doing?
Are they trying to trade Josh Jacobs? Why are they running him so much in the Hall of Fame game?
That's what this typically is.
Yeah.
Right? It's a show. If you're going to showcase someone, you might as well take advantage of this standalone game.
Yeah, you're trying to figure out, hey, what do we have in Ben Skoranek? John Mechie may be a guy. He's going to be considered. I think he's going to be quote unquote starting there for the Texans. I would imagine he's a guy that's fighting for that roster spot and guy who really has some upside potential. But Ryan, who's kind of on your list? The interesting thing with the DFS showdown, all the players are the same price, which is kind of fun. And then obviously one is the captain, where you pay 1.5x, you get 1.5 points. How are we building this roster?
Let's put up on the screen. So I would say that I think you have to start in the Hall of Fame game with like just throwing the 2 defenses in there.
Yeah,
right?
that was my first instinct. Now, are we captaining either of the defenses or no?
Why don't we just put them in for now and we can figure that out later. But I would say, I would say that in general, for a couple reasons. 1, defense ahead of offense. 2, defense plays the whole game. Like, very simply, defense plays the whole game. You can't even say that about kickers.
Yeah,
at this point. And so if you were making a manifesto about playing showdown lineups in preseason, you have to. I get it. The reason to not play the defenses, I guess, is they'll be chalky.
Okay,
but I mean, also, how do you not play the defenses?
Yes.
So the second note I would have here is just very simply. I mean, you listen to the coaches. Is anyone being spoken about? Is anyone? I don't have any good examples here other than like who not to play, but in this case, it seems like Sean was saying, you want to look down the roster, not even backups, but maybe 3rd string guys, potentially guys that won't end up making the roster that the coaches want to either evaluate and realize it or get them to get some tape.
So I think, Ryan, if we're optimistic, Bagent maybe throws a touchdown pass. I think from the brief research I've done as far as deep tight ends,
well, we know he's starting, and we don't know what the Bears plan on doing with their other quarterbacks. I think the Bears are a team that plan on only keeping 2 quarterbacks, and so there's a little bit of that. Like, let's get Bagent some work here. You want to captain Bagent?
Yes, I do.
It feels also like we watched that sick video of him talking about grinding his face off, doing burpees and shit.
Well, now, this is interesting because I think I'm seeing Carlson is kind of lining up as the second tight end in some spots. Like they're giving him a chance to win that second tight end thing. But then when I do a little bit of deeper research, Sweeney seems to be the guy that Bagent is throwing to.
I think
practice.
we take Sweeney.
Okay. Because Carlson might be too good for his own.
Sweeney's the only player take I had in this lineup, and he was going to be in there even if we don't play Bagent.
Okay. So Sweeney locked in.
So we'll stack Bagent and Sweeney. I think that's probably.
Are we putting Bagent in the captain spot?
Yeah, I put him in the captain spot. But I'd be fine putting Sweeney in the captain spot to be a little. I think that maybe is a better way.
Okay, yeah. Why don't we do that? Just we got to go in on one guy. I think that's how you're going to actually
first touchdown, Sweeney.
Will they offer the first touchdown market, right?
I'm fingers crossed.
So we got Sweeney in the captain spot, Bears and Texans, both defenses, Bagent as well. We're going to need some guys, I think, on Houston. I really am making a case for Ben Skoranek.
He's on the Texans.
Yes.
Does he fit the model? Would he have worked hard in practice and earned some playing time?
I think so. Right.
Are we going to ever make a lineup where you don't have him in here? No.
I mean, he was most of the camp notes I am finding are that Ben Skoranek has been juiced up and is having a really good practice. That's what I'm finding about Ben Skoranek.
Okay.
And let's see, we got CJ Stroud doing the Key and Peele handshake with Ben Skoranek. I think that's a good sign.
Yeah, I'm fine. He's in there. I got him in there.
Okay.
Locked in.
What else? Who else do you find interesting? And really why I like him, by all accounts, he's on the roster bubble. They don't like, from what I'm seeing of the 53 man roster stuff, they have him as like the 7th receiver. So he truly is on the bubble, which I think is a good case for him. Do we add another Texans guy here? I saw. Saw Moon off the machine Manji, Texans insider there. Maybe he thinks a guy we know is going to pop.
I think you have to take a running back.
Okay. Now who's the running back? Roshan Johnson.
No, I think a Texans running back. That system, there's always potential for a running back down the roster to get. All right. So Cam Akers.
I don't know.
No,
man.
I agree. Is this the Dameon Pierce game?
Oh,
showcase. They don't want him. They're hyping him up. When the coaches, Sean, what did I tell you when I saw them talking about how Dameon Pierce is looking so much better in year 2? I go, oh shit, they're trying to trade him because he's not. He does not fit their scheme.
I love this Dameon Pierce play.
Let's do it
because.
Is he far enough down the right? But this is when you would do it, right? You'd showcase him now so you can let teams know Dameon Pierce available.
Yeah. I think John Mechie is also fun, but I like your angle of Skoranek.
Mechie?
No, I'll take.
I think
Dameon
they have.
Pierce.
I feel like they have bigger plans for Mechie.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm not super plugged into the situation, but Mechie is in a weird way, like in a great situation where he can like, and there's nothing for a guy who got drafted in the first round. I believe there's no pressure on him now to come back and start contributing. So
I like the Dameon Pierce play. Hopefully he.
All right. So do we feel good about Bagent or should we swap him out?
Well, let's think this out because obviously you could make a case you shouldn't play any quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Because
they're going to share time.
Yeah.
But we like Bagent.
I do. And
should we see what the note says?
Sure. It's probably just grinding his face off.
He's slated to start.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm going to go back and look up his numbers. But didn't Tyson Bagent? We also, I think, want to highlight guys who randomly may be willing to run. If you remember his brief 23 attempts, 109 yards, 11 first downs.
I think he might have been talking about Caleb Williams complaining about the schedule.
Probably
quarterback controversy. What are we saying about
2 rushing touchdowns? Yeah, in on Bagent.
What are we saying about Dameon Pierce?
that he's gonna probably lose the second running back job.
No,
to Cam Akers.
I did not see this morning, but they're reporting he's expected to see extended time.
Perfect.
All right, should we make him the captain, or is that too obvious? That's too obvious. Let's go with Sweeney.
Sweeney is the captain.
You want to go Pierce? Damian Pierce was always one of our guys.
Yeah, Pierce is the captain.
All right.
You don't like that?
No, I do.
Okay.
I'm just worried it's going to be chalky, but I actually don't care about being chalky.
Yeah,
first contest of the year, I want to win. So many people are going to be like, "Nah, it's not the point." Fuck off.
Winning is the point. So officially, after a lot of getting to see where the sausage is made, Damian Pierce in the captain role, Texans and Bears, then Bagent, then Scourneck, then Sweeney.
All right, I feel like a 3-3 roster. I would never play this in the regular season. I'm more of a 1-5-2-4 guy.
Well, I mean, but I don't know if that makes sense in the Hall of Fame game, because like in showdown lineups, traditionally you're trying to obviously find the outlier thing. So like a blowout and you get the team right. That makes sense. But I feel like most of these Hall of Fame games are competitive.
Yeah, no, generally it's like I'm trying to play 5 guys from the big underdog.
Yeah.
In a contrarian situation.
But these, in the past, Jets 21 or Browns Jets 21-16, 27-11, 16-13, 14-10, 17-16, 20-18. There's a lot where these, I mean, for one team to beat the other in double digits in the Hall of Fame game is usually pretty rare. So officially we are on the under 31 and a half. The Bears.
Are we sure? Cousin Mush also hammering the under. Oh no.
Oh no, Ryan. I like our lineup though. This is pretty fun. All right. We got to get back to work because we got
what? Work?
Well, grinding our faces off, getting ready for team previews. And of course, appreciate everyone tuning in. Make sure you check out all 32 NFL team previews so you can submit your entry for the phrase that pays $500 circa NFL future coming your way to one lucky listener or viewer. Cannot wait to talk Tennessee Titans, Ryan, tonight. That is going to be pretty fun.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
I'm going to recycle this for the episode tonight. But do you know who led the league in percentage of throws deep in the NFL?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Will Levis.
Oh baby.
Will Levis season coming. For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green. He's Ryan.
NFL's back.
Kramer, let it ride.